and your YouTube will be very easy. Okay, Rosario, do you have the doc up?
Let me see. I'll hit it
Can
again.
access. He just
Yep, got the access.
great. Okay, so please bring that document up.
Mm-hmm.
Might have time for a sandwich during all this. I'm kidding, Jackie. I'm all good. I'm not gonna actually eat a sandwich right now. Thank you though. I just wet the hair and I kind of fucked it up, but whatever. All right.
Look great.
Thank you so much. I have to step it up to be in your company. Okay, so you have it there in a place. Well, that's really not acceptable.
Ben, I worry you're not going to have time to pee. I'm panicking.
That's fine. I'm not going to pee. I'll save till after the monologue and then we cut to our first video.
Okay.
So, Jay, you're going to cue us, right?
Yeah.
Why am I not hearing you in my ear, Jay?
So, according to the current run of show, we're going to start the run of video in a minute. And you guys are going to start. It looks like the first thing on the docket is.
No, we're not rolling late. We should be good, I think, right? We're starting on time, aren't we?
Yeah, we should. I'm going to.
Wait. Hold on, just 1 second on the video. Start. Rosario, one last thought is there will be live audience. Audience, can we hear you real quick?
Oh, they're all in the separate breakout room, Ben.
Bring them in right now. This is our show is starting. We need the audience back.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. It's like a white cream of my bathroom. What? My bathroom. The big one, Jackie. What's that, Chad? I know that should be loaded into your thing, I think. I don't believe. Got it. But you have the video, correct? Okay, awesome. Okay.
All right.
No, we need the audience in the breakout. We need the audience.
We need the audience back. Is the audience back, guys?
Hello.
Hear you.
Hey, man.
Clap it up real quick. Let's hear the audience clap it up. Do we need? Okay, let's roll the top of show video. Let's do this thing.
Live from around the country, it's the 2020 Telethon for America, presented by Represent Us, with appearances from Alicia Keys, America Ferrara, Deborah Messing, Alyssa Milano, Keenan Thompson, Josh Gad, Sarah Silverman, Sophia Bush, Ed Helms, Lucy Phillips, Chelsea Handler, Chris Jericho, Craig Robinson, Dr. Phil, Sasha Baron Cohen, Eva Longoria, Fortune Feimster, Joshua Jackson, Mike Birbiglia, Nikki Glazer, Doug Stanhope, Jackie Tone, Jade Cotta-Preta, Aisha Tyler, Ida Rodriguez, Steve Hofstetter, Tone Bell, Bob Odenkirk, Brad Williams, Camilla Marone, Steve Kerr, the Sklar Brothers, Daryl Hammond, Ty Burrell, Ray Romano, and many more. Now please welcome your hosts for the evening, Rosario Dawson and Ben Glebe.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the Telethon, the 2020 Telethon for America, powered by Represent Us. I am Rosario Dawson.
And I am Ben Glebe, and together we are Ben Rosa.
No, we're not.
Here we are on election eve, a very huge day for our country, giving you one more opportunity this year for celebrities to get it wrong.
Oh, but hopefully when it comes to voting tomorrow, we will all get it right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
but we can try, and we should, which is also why we are here, to bring you some critical information that may come in handy tomorrow when you are voting. Election Day, November 3rd. We are in the home stretch of 2020, you guys.
Yeah. Woo!
Already, which of course means there's only 9 years left in this year.
Just 9 more years. Okay, so this year has been filled with surprises, to say the least. 2020 is undefeated, as Black Twitter would say.
I'm comfortable responding to that, to be honest with you.
Good call.
This year has been very strange. A lot of realities we've had to deal with: a global pandemic, social uprisings, killer insects, relentless fires.
And super downer monologues.
I'm going to spin it positive. I was going to say that all of these things have shown us that one thing is for certain.
Let me guess, that we're stronger together.
We just covered that point, so fair enough.
But we've heard a lot of words during the election, like voter suppression,
Court packing.
packing,
Yep, handmaids.
gerrymandering. Well, no, that's a TV show.
Oh, Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah,
But it's honestly, it's not that far from our reality these days.
that is fair, sadly. And I'm impressed that you actually had a point there.
Let's tell all of you how tonight's going to go down.
Well, tonight we hope to reach our goal of raising a whopping $0. We can do it.
We can do it.
Telethon for America is the only telethon in the world with the goal of raising no money at all.
Instead, what we're going to do is raise awareness of the important issues that are on the line and on the ballot tomorrow.
So if any of you have any desire to make change in this country, there literally could not be a quicker opportunity to do that, because you can do it first thing tomorrow morning, or the way I will be doing it, when I wake up first thing tomorrow afternoon.
Well, at least you're going to do it. So I'm going to give you that. That's good. You know, procrastinate, but don't procrastinate too long. We want to get you on that line in time. Did you know that around 100 million American citizens who are eligible to vote will not vote in the election tomorrow, potentially? I mean, how crazy is that? That's what happened in 2016. It could happen again.
That is true. That's the projection. So I want you all to know today, we both want you to know that it does not have to be that way. In the 2018 Telethon for America, our stated goal was to help create historic voter turnout in the midterms, and that goal was achieved. No! Before the monologue, to be honest with you, I'm trying to fix it constantly, but we're going to do it again. This time, our goal with the telethon and the help of all of you watching is to create the greatest turnout in American history.
We need that. Year anniversary of the 19th Amendment. I think us women can make that happen, right? So anyway, for all of you, for the next 2 hours, we will be taking pledges from you, the viewer, to promise to go vote tomorrow if you haven't already, and to form a voting squad to bring along to the polls with you.
Absolutely. You're probably thinking, what's in it for me? I'll tell you. By taking the pledge at telethonforamerica.com, you will have the opportunity to have a video visit with one of our many celebrities here tonight from TV, like Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
It'll make you never want to talk to a celebrity again. Movie, comedy, music, and more. All you have to do is go right now or anytime during the show to telethonforamerica.com. Make your pledge to vote or complete the form to bring your friends. It's right there at the bottom of the homepage.
And a few hundred lucky viewers will receive an email with a link to have a live one-on-one video chat with one of the celebrities we have here tonight in our celebrity video bank.
Does that sound?
I get excited when Alicia Keys calls me to this day, so I have a feeling it might be exciting to y'all. I don't know, maybe.
I always send Alicia Keys to voicemail. That's the way I do it. We'll also, in addition to that, be bringing one very lucky viewer to join all of us live on air at the end of the show. And stay tuned, because in addition to that, we have a very, very special message from the host of Fox's Fox's newest celebrity competition series, The Masked Dancer, Craig Robinson. Message you'd like to deliver to us, and Rosario will be doing more strange poses that make you think Hollywood is as odd that as you've come to learn.
It's called interpretive dance.
Love it. I love your interpretive dance so much. Let's first, though, before we get any further, are you guys ready to check in with our celebrity video bank? Celebrity video bank, please join us. Are you all here with us? I love it.
Hi.
We-
Hi, Rosario. Hi.
Got Terrence J, Brad Williams, Cody Rhodes.
Hey!
How's everything going?
Oh, so good, especially here, love.
I'm so happy to see you. You guys are doing a great job. I watched the little bit while I was going to the bathroom in between the gigs.
I hope everything came out all right.
It's the intro for me. The intro, that little walk on the camera was incredible. It was incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Practice.
Practice that 30 seconds before air, so thank you, Terrence. We've got Doug Stanhope with us with a new hair. Press your spacebar to talk.
Wow, look at that hair.
Doug, you're on mute. You're on mute. Press the spacebar to talk. Hold down your spacebar. Press it down. Hold it down like a walkie-talkie.
I believe in you.
There you go, Doug.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry. I'm just wondering how many people are going to say, why am I talking to you? I thought I was going to get a celebrity.
That's the reality that will happen tonight. I'm so sorry. We've got John DiMaggio here, the voice of Bender from Futurama, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hey. Yeah. You know who can bite my shiny metal ass, baby.
How are you, Ricky?
I am great. It's so nice to see all of you. I'm pumped. I'm a little anxious, but let's do this thing, you guys.
Woo! So much fun. Yeah. A little later, Deborah Messing is with us. Hello, Deborah. How are you? Great.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Took me a second.
Thank you.
I'm bringing the
All of my favorite women, and Mike.
Hey.
Hey,
We are being joined by Monica Lewinsky in the house.
another one of my favorite women.
Hello, Josh. We've got Jackson, both Joshes. Say hello to everybody.
All the Joshes.
We've got Nikki Glazer joining us, everybody. Hello, Nikki.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm at my parents' house in St. Louis where I've lived for 7 months.
He's on it. I just told for Big's joke not knowing he's here.
Stanhope did steal my joke, Doug. I was watching you do that. I was like, fuck, that's my opener. That's my fucking opener.
I was going to say, that's actually for Big's joke. I just put it in the chat.
We have Sophia Bush here with us, my dear friend, one of my favorite ladies. Hello, Sophia.
Google, you know. Hi.
Bye.
Sophia, do you mind introducing us to your marine biologist friend that you brought along?
You guys, I'm so excited to be here with so many incredible human beings, including my friend Ayanna Elizabeth Johnson, who is a marine biologist. She is a climate expert. She has given us the sign off on the Biden-Harris climate plan. She's amazing and much smarter than me and probably everyone.
Hi, Ayanna. Love you so much.
And we also have with us Steve Hofstetter. We've got Baron Vaughn from Grace and Frankie on Netflix. And also very with us here. If there are any questions about civics, how the election works, how our government works, we have Richard Green, the civics dean, here with us. This man is an expert on all. And I think I said Brad Williams. Williams here as well. So we have an amazing Daryl Hammond. Holy shit!
Hello, everybody. Basically, if I'm here, that means one thing about this telethon, and that's Peter Dinklage was busy. That's right.
Fucking Brad, dude.
Very excited to be here.
Thank you for being here, Brad.
Of course.
Daryl, how are you, buddy?
Is that me?
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty good. I'm standing by. I hope I can contribute in some way. It seems like an awesome night.
Well, so far you're a very high energy start. We appreciate the
Enthusiasm.
He's high.
You're all tired, Daryl. It's okay.
I love it. It's going to be quite a night. Are you guys excited to talk to the lucky winners that pledge to vote at telethonforamerica.com? You already have some nice conversations?
Yes.
Yeah.
So excited.
Wait.
I love it. Thumbs up right there.
Thanks, Josh.
The walkie-talkie switch here. It's really throwing me off.
Oh,
hold it down, or you can unmute it. Whatever way you want to do. You do you, Joshua.
Josh,
Don't
you
want
have
me
a
to
new
unmute.
baby, don't you?
I do. I have a she's not brand new anymore. 6.5 months.
Is she sleeping?
She is occasionally sleeping. Yeah.
It's good you got the earbuds in so they don't hear all the raucous.
Yeah, well, when she is asleep, there's nothing on this planet that can wake her up. But, the sleep's on her schedule, not really on our schedule.
Congratulations.
I like it. She's owning it already.
Oh, yeah, she runs the house.
Yo, this is fucking crazy. You want to see who's on here?
If you wanted to show us a picture, we'd be cool.
Sophia Bush.
No. Not breaking the internet tonight.
Exactly.
We need pledges.
I would like to survive until tomorrow morning, so I'm going to say nah.
Did you ever feel throughout the course of your career that you've been in the shadow of Joshua Jackson?
Me? I feel like I've been in my shadow my whole life.
In your shadow. I was flipping.
That's funny.
Josh Gad is on mute. He has no comment on that.
Oh, no, I legitimately thought you were asking me. I was like,
this is the most chaotic Zoom I've been on since Yom Kippur with my family. And I don't know how to, like, when anyone's talking to me or when they're not. But so I keep hearing Josh and I say hi, and then the much more handsome Josh speaks.
Zoom delay. It's the Zoom delay. We all have to just, the Zoom delay. It's a very weird thing.
I just heard Liz Milano say there's a Zoom delay. I think that just came from here. This is very exciting. We are now going to go as the phone. So throughout the night, we will be putting our celebrities one-on-one in video chats with you watching the show right now, and we'll be checking in how that's going. We'll be playing clips from that later on. But right now, we're going to go to our first pre-tape segment, a very special message from a woman who made her living making fun of me on television. Chelsea Handler, everybody.
Hi, America. It's me, Chelsea Handler. I have a couple of questions for you. Do you care about equal pay for women? Do you care about passing a new Voting Rights Act? Do you care about getting money out of politics? And do you care about passing the Equality Act, which means no more discrimination based on your gender, based on your sexual identity, based on your gender identity, or based on your color of skin? Do you care about those four things?
Get to watch it?
Four things have all passed
That's nice, so
in
we
the
can
House
just
of
sit in uncomfortable
Representatives
silence
and are
with each
waiting
other.
to be
This
heard
is
on the Senate floor. There is one party
It's
that
like,
wants all
I mean,
those
not
things
Yom
to happen,
Kippur for me, but
and
it
there's
is
one
kind of
party
like a
that
family
doesn't.
dinner.
Which party are you a party to, or a party of? I'm Chelsea Handler.
Stanhope, how's Arizona, man?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Keenan Thompson, and I am here to also lend my support for the Telethon for America. This is a very, 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 very critical time in
This
our
is my
country.
school. This is where I
think
teach a bunch of
everybody
rookies how
knows
to
by
wrestle. We
now
had to cancel
that your
practice
vote
for this, so it's
is
great.
critical, and it's your choice, and it's your right as an American citizen So
This is wild.
I think you should take
This
that
is.
right and go do what you need to do.
You mean
And
This is
vote
really
for
cool.
who
Thank
you
you
would like
everyone
to
for
lead
being
this
here.
country
It's so good to see
into a
so many
better
of your
future.
faces.
Now I know I'm a
Hi,
comedian
Rosario.
and I
Kind
do
of
lots of
pretend
funny
that I'm
things,
friends with some of
but,
you, even though I'm not.
this
I'd
is a
love to.
serious moment,
Ayana,
so I just wanted
last time I
to
think I saw you was when we went to the shark opening,
Oh,
the
the
shark
New York
exhibit
Aquarium.
opening in Brooklyn and Coney Island.
We are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Telethon for America. Hi, Rosario. I think you were bonding with who?
I was bonding with Ayana, the amazing marine biologist. That's something I had wanted to do when I was younger. I thought I wanted to
Desire
be a
was
marine
my
biologist.
date to the opening of the new exhibit at the New York Aquarium. For
Yeah,
the
the shark exhibit in Coney Island. She took me and my daughter. It was amazing.
Oh my God, when we could go in public.
Yes. Remember those days?
I remember those days.
I think it's so weird. We can tell our kids once upon a time we shook hands and kissed and hugged strangers to say hello. Barbaric.
Some of us were always uncomfortable. Hugging was a little weird, but handshakes were cool.
Handshakes. Now we're elbows. It's all about the elbows. Now giving someone the elbow is actually a good thing. Cody.
I'm all about the COVID bow. The COVID bow is the best. COVID bow. You got to lean in with it. That's it. That's how we love each other.
I like it. Or you do it the way Steve Hofstetter does, and you just, anybody that speaks to you, you just take any heckler and tear them down so hard that they want to come near you.
Dan, I'm sorry. I felt interrupted just then.
I can do it.
That was weird. I've never said I'm sorry before.
You got it out. We've got it. It's live. We've recorded it. It's amazing. It's going to be on loop.
His new ringtone.
Our telethon is presented to you tonight by the amazing nonprofit and fiercely anti-corruption organization Represent Us. They're one of my favorite organizations in the world. They're fighting to get money out of politics, to get the corruption out of our politics, and it's because we're facing an existential crisis in the way our system is being run. And I could tell you more about it, but I'm not as eloquent as, say, Jennifer Lawrence. So let's let her say a few words about Represent Us and the problems our government
We are
is
witnessing
facing.
a total
Jennifer?
political system failure in America.
I'm sorry we're not showing you guys these videos, but
If you're anything like me, you may find yourself constantly overwhelmed by everything that's wrong with politics. And when I say politics, I'm not talking about Democrats or Republicans. I'm talking about the flaws that exist in our political system, regardless of which party is in power. And I know it's hard to talk about politics these days, but look, the government is ours. We pay for it, so it needs to work for us. And right now it doesn't, and I mean it really doesn't. So what's going on here? Is it Russian meddling in social media? Is it him? Is it her? No. Those two were the least popular presidential candidates since they began keeping track of such things. Only 4% of Americans have a great deal of confidence in Congress now. Just 4%. America is no longer even considered a full democracy. We are witnessing a total political system failure in America, which is the complete opposite of what our nation's founders had in mind. Consider this. Politicians are spending up to 70% of their time raising funds for re-election after they get into office. Why? Because in order to win a seat in the Senate in some races, you would have to raise $45,000 every single day, 365 days a year for 6 years to raise enough money to win. Now consider that only 0.05% of Americans give more than $10,000 to politics. And then you see why politicians have become completely dependent on the 0.05% of Americans, billionaires and special interest groups, who fund their campaigns.
Here's how you fix our broken elections. End gerrymandering with independent redistricting commissions.
Create ranked choice voting so third parties and independents can run and win.
Implement automatic voter registration and vote from home.
And here's how we can crack down on political bribery. Overhaul lobbying and ethics laws and close the revolving door so politicians can't be bribed with high-paying job offers.
Mandate full transparency of political spending so we know who's trying to buy influence.
Give every voter a $50 or $100 tax voucher so politicians spend time fundraising from their constituents not just that 0.05% that I talked about earlier. And right now, these are all of the ways that you can help us go state by state, city by city, to fix the corruption in American politics. Volunteer and join a Represent Us chapter. Or, if that's not your thing, join the Commonwealth to make a monthly donation in support of someone who does volunteer. 100% of your money goes straight to passing these laws, not to overhead or our expenses. Every voice matters. Your voice matters. If you do nothing, nothing changes. But if we all do a little, we can win together.
Trying to unmute myself, but I don't know the host. Is that you, Ben, who keeps messing with my mute button? That would be you. That would be you. Anyway, thank you, America. I just want to say thank you to everyone else who's on here with us. We want you, if you have not, to know something really special. If you have not yet registered to vote, we understand there are a lot of procrastinators out there. It's all good. But you're here, you're feeling inspired, your friends are calling you, they're wanting you to be a part of their voting squad as they're tuning in, and you're like, I'm not registered. Well, if you're in one of these 21 states, DC included, because we also want that to be a state, they allow for same-day voter registration, and then you can vote.
Oh, shit.
Those states are listed at the bottom of your screen, which means there is still time to register and vote in the most important election of our lifetime. I know a lot of people say that, but for a lot of you, some of you are just turning 18. This is really literally the most important election of your lifetime. Yes. Now, before I get all serious about climate change and gun reform and all the things, let's get back to some comedy. Please welcome, direct from New York City, comedian Mike Birbiglia.
My observation about the event so far is I am not sure what is being broadcast and what is not. I'm just hoping that any of the stuff that's good is broadcast and the bad stuff isn't broadcast. And Doug already did my opening joke. Casually, Stanhope just casually whipped off my opening joke, which is full story is that a few years ago I was asked to do a charity celebrity golf tournament, and I was paired up with these two guys to golf, and the first thing they said to me was, "Who do you think our celebrity's gonna be?" And I go, "Oh no, I think it might be me." And then I'm like apologizing to these guys, like, "Hey, sorry, I'm your celebrity. If you think this is disappointing for you, you can't imagine how disappointing it is for me." No, it's Doug. That's how it's done, Stanhope. Yeah. But the thing that people recognize me from is nothing. They come up to me and they go, "Wait, what are you in?" And I say, "I'm in the worst conversation of my life. What are you in?" And that too. I'm like, "You cast me." I think Schumer's doing something on the show tonight, and I played in her movie Trainwreck. I played Brie Larson's husband, which the internet is angry about to this very day. Yeah, every once in a while, people are like, they see Trainwreck, they're like, "I'm taking this anger to the internet." Mike Birbiglia plays Brie Larson's husband in what universe? And I'm like, "No, movies? No, the same universe where Tom Cruise plays a Nazi but doesn't have a German accent? Movies." Same universe where an alien comes.
Made a whole career out of playing an Irishman, an Englishman, a German, and never changing his Scottish accent. It was genius.
But by the way, the director of Trainwreck was Judd Apatow, who's married to Leslie Mann in real life. In this universe. That one's called Brie Larson's husband in what universe? And a lot of comedians have been working on jokes during COVID, but I've been working on a vaccine So far, it's 2 parts French toast, 1 part maple syrup. We're in 3rd stage trials. The only person who's tried it is the president. So, and he took a lot of extra. Didn't know it was a vaccine. Oh. Yeah. I feel like my one conclusion, I bet someone like Stanhope has better perspective than I do about COVID, but my takeaway is that nothing is as it seems. You know, like I talked to my friend one day, he was like, I'm having a good pandemic, I'm getting a lot done. And the next week he's like, we're getting divorced. Week later, he's like, I murdered my grandmother. That's all you need to know. I have Irish citizenship. I'll be at the Zoom pottery class on Tuesday. I'm gonna close on this. My main message, if you're watching, is about voting. And the reason you should vote is because there's a thing called pizza to the polls. Pizza to the polls. There's one reason you should vote is that you get free pizza at the polls. And I love pizza. Like, I am physically drawn to pizza. Like, it's almost sexual. Like, I wouldn't have sex with pizza, but if I ate pizza alone, I wouldn't mention it to my wife. Does that make sense? I love pizza so much, I get excited when I see the word plaza. The word pizza itself is exciting because it has 2 Z's, which each have a slice of pizza, and an A, which is a 5th slice of pizza, all in one word, which is a literary device I call onomatopoeia.
Jesus.
That's all for me. Vote, vote, vote. Let's do this, everybody.
Mike Quigley, everybody, one more time.
Thank you.
We are now going to, throughout the course of the evening and starting right now in a very big way, we're going to be sharing with you some of the issues that are at stake in our country. A lot of people, because the media focuses on the wrong things, they focus just on the horse race and the drama and the controversial things. We don't often focus on the real things that are on the ballot that can be affected by the election happening tomorrow in this country. I believe tomorrow afternoon when I wake up. So, it's morning. It's very early morning, please. So we're now going to bring on somebody that we all know and love to share some of these issues with us in a segment we call I Have Issues with Deborah Messing. Are you here? Is she gone?
I think she left.
Turn your camera on.
Deborah, where are you at?
Oh, here's Deborah Messing.
Deborah has left the room.
We lost Deborah. We lost Deborah Messing.
She's got issues. What are we gonna say? We opened with it's a real thing.
That is true.
We can talk about one of the issues that I love, which is, LA County, you get the opportunity to vote for Measure J if you so choose. Thank you, Joshua Jackson. Maybe you want to jump in on that. But Measure J is going to give us 10% of the budget that will go towards all the things that we keep talking about, how we need to reinvest in communities and vulnerable communities. This will change the constitution of LA County and give us the opportunity to have those funds to actually invest in mental health and healthcare and all of these housing, all of the things. Joshua, would you like to weigh in on that? You were in that phone call that we had that let us know about that wonderful opportunity for folks to vote on.
Nope, I am just in violent agreement with you and so happy that you brought it up tonight.
It's really awesome. You can go to Reform LA Jails. You can go Patrice Collars. There's Diane Guerrera just did a really amazing post about it on her Instagram, and you can learn a little bit more. But if this passes in LA County, guess what? It gets to be pushed to be passed across the nation. And it's this kind of thing that's really special when we talk about voting that we don't always talk about, because we're always looking at the presidential candidates. You get to vote for propositions and measures across this country. That means you get to vote for laws and constitutional changes immediately. You don't have to wait for other leadership to do it. The organizers and the people who came together to make it happen and put it on the ballot have done it. Oh, you know what we just found out?
This is beautiful news.
Deborah's on a video bank. She is calling someone right now. She's doing one of these to one of our voter pledgers, which is pretty cool.
She's not interpretive dancing, Rosario, so that's a little bit better.
What are you saying right now? You did a time warp? I mean, if you want to go traditional.
Done. Sophia Bush had something she wanted to chime in on this topic, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Rosario. So in terms of Measure J, you know, Measure J is literally justice on the ballot here in LA. And as you mentioned, the measure allocates 10% of our unrestricted funds, which means that the stuff our city funds, that money stays. 10% of unrestricted funds is only 1/36 of the entire LA budget. And it goes to the kinds of programming that we know people need, getting houseless folks housed, making sure there's treatment for addiction, for mental health, things that actually support communities. And years ago, a report on just how much better those measures would make the community was voted into law, and then it wasn't funded. Because that's how so many things work when folks like us, you know, constituents and voters don't know what's going on. So we can actually fund the kinds of city programming that our city's leadership has said it knows will improve quality of life, the economy, and outcomes for all people. We don't have to invest in carceral punishment. We can invest in communities. And what's exciting for us guys, you know, to Rosario's point about what's on the ballot, is if this happens here in LA, if LA passes Measure J and we use it as a proving model, every other city around the country can go, hey, look at how well that worked. Look at the outcomes that changed in that city. This is part of the ways in which even voting down ballot for the things that are specific to us wherever we live affect the entire country. It's like everything is data, everything is a case study, and we can do really, really good things for our communities with measures like this. So whether you're voting top of the ballot for climate, like our expert Miss Ayana can talk about, or you're voting for things like restorative justice in, you know, huge metropolises like ours, we can really, really change outcomes for the country by supporting things like this. And don't you think the taxpayers like we're only gonna get a 36? Like, give it back.
Sophia Bush, like just a student. You're like, would you like 18 facts or 24?
I love it. This is how my anxiety, this is how I cope. I never
do your research.
While we get overwhelmed by anxiety, I would like that to be broken down. Daryl Hammond, for a little comic relief. Daryl, what is fun about this election? What has been keeping you going through the madness?
Gabapentin. I have really good health insurance and great shrinks. I think that I'm kind of scared tonight about what's going to happen in the next couple of days. A couple of months ago in New York, we had a blackout on the Upper West. What? You're speaking And we had a blackout on the Upper West Side, and my shrink today prepared me for possible cyber attacks, and the whole thing has got me really, really scared. And the way I understand it is you can remove this person from office if we can beat him by a fairly wide margin. Otherwise, he's going to take it into the courts. The whole thing is really scary.
Hi, Adam McKay here in the back of a scout
America.
van.
It's me, Chelsea
We are
Handler.
working
I have
on
a
a
couple of
movie
questions.
amidst all
So we
this
gotta vote.
insanity. But I just
think
wanted
that
to
we've
take a
never
second
had,
to tell everyone
such an
who-
incredible
if
opportunity
there's
to come
anyone out
together
there
as a
who's
nation
left,
and
who's on the
show
fence
that the
about
voters
voting,
themselves are
please
the real
vote.
stars in
Do it
election
safely.
season.
Wear a mask, social
I
distance.
think
But
we've
man, oh
too often
man,
focused on
this
candidates,
election
and
among
as you
all
can see how much money is spent and wasted. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars go into ads and for candidates that don't even go forward. And that could be cleaning up parks, that could be forgiving student debt. I think that we have a generation with Generation Z that didn't need, tolerance campaigns, awareness campaigns like I grew up on. They're incredibly accepting. They are incredibly aware and have such access that they're really utilizing. And so I'm really filled with hope watching, if you watch the 2018 midterms, people was record turnout. And what did that give us? It changed Congress, and we had 98 years after the ratification of the 19th Amendment, we had our first Native women who are represented in our Congress. 400 pieces of really progressive legislation that was bipartisan was voted to go forward. It's sitting in the Senate, but that means with this vote right now, we have an opportunity to make those things turn into laws and really start affecting change in a way where people can start to really see when I vote, it changes and it matters. So this is the election for that to happen. So I'm going to just stick with that hope and that belief that what we saw in 2018 is going to be surpassed this year, because we're already seeing record turnout and people showing up, people coming and voting on lines, voting early, sending in their ballots, going back to re-vote and re-register themselves because their ballots are being thrown out and they're going back to do it. I just see a fervor, and I see an understanding that they are the power, that we are individually just one vote, but together we are many. And I'm just going to cross my eyes and toes and fingers and all the things, because no matter what, we have a fight to go ahead. None of these things are going to happen with just one vote, one election. We got a lot of work to do, and people are actually taking the time to study and learn and figure it out so we can move forward. And I believe.
Here's the beauty of it, if I can say. That was a beautifully said thing, Rosario. And I just want to say, Daryl expressed that he wants the president to not win re-election. Of course, there are millions and millions who want him to win re-election. That's what makes America great. That's what tomorrow is all about. There's people that believe what he's doing is great, and then he has made America great again, or is doing it. I'm not sure what slogan they're on right now, but there's people that believe that things are back on track. And so the point is, tomorrow is when we get to express our right, one way or the other, no matter what side of these issues you are on. But it certainly helps to be educated on these issues and what's truly at stake. And so now, out of her voter call, she has now rejoined us in the Celebrity Video Bank. She's going to be now joining me for a discussion on the issues that are at stake and on the ballot tomorrow in the segment we call I Have Issues with Deborah Messing.
All right. I like that. How you doing, Ben?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm fired up, especially after hearing Rosario talk. I mean, it really is exciting. That's right. Vote. I see that T-shirt. Our voice is our power, and what we can do tomorrow is really, really exciting. Like what Rosario was talking about. There are 11 bills that the House passed that are still sitting on McConnell's desk, just not being addressed and not being brought up for a vote. If we get 4 more senators, then we can pass them. And I'm just going to tell you 5 of the bills that we could pass, and if Biden wins, would go to become law. The first one is
But really quickly, conversely, of course, if those 4 seats are held by Republicans and they maintain control of the Senate, then those things won't pass, and that's the direction the country will go. And it's up to each individual to decide what's more valid for them or what's more important to them. So take us through the facts of these bills that are passed, that will either pass or not pass based on tomorrow's election, please. First, tell us your top 5 issues.
Absolutely. The first one is H.R. 4, the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act. And what that says is that it prevents the suppression of minority voting rights in all the states. So
Yeah.
We don't, as you were saying, Ben, we don't currently have that right now. And if we vote 4 senators in, and we will get that. So that's how powerful our votes are. I mean, that it's a matter of having it or not having it. The next one I'd like to highlight is HR 5, the Equality Act, which prevents discrimination of any kind based on sexual identity.
You.
That one's dear to my heart.
Just to be clear on all these issues, again, no one's message here is to promote one party or another. It's about ideas, and it's about human values and human rights. And that's just the reality of it. So there's nothing wrong with sharing facts and let people decide as they may. That's very important, right? There are. It's an absolute fact that bill could be passed by the Republicans in the Senate, and they choose not to take it up and not to pass it. And so that stands for their values. And the Democrats want to pass it. And so that's what the vote will determine, these issues. Please tell us another one. Speak on it, Deborah Messing.
Another one is HR 6, the American Dream and Promise Act, which provides a path to citizenship for qualified dreamers.
Yep. Even President Trump at some times has been supportive of giving the ability to become citizens, have that path. And he's even said in the past, who doesn't like that? You got to respect it. You got to have people come here. They're good people. Okay, and so then politics happened and he went back on it. So these are not issues that are partisan. It's just things that we can do or not do.
Yes.
Yeah, but please.
That's right. And then we have the Paycheck Fairness Act, which is HR 7, which mandates equal pay for women in the workplace. Which, I mean, you would think that would really be a bipartisan thing, because women bringing more money into the household is better for the entire family, and therefore it's better for the economy.
In fairness, some people, Deborah, who are against that have never spoken to a woman.
Perhaps. And the last
Too busy interrupting.
And the last one that I'd like to highlight is HR 8, the bipartisan Background Checks Act, which mandates background checks for all gun purchases.
Yeah.
We all know that is a hot button issue. People have very strong feelings on both sides. The thing that I think was incredible to learn is that this particular bill was supported by both Democrats and Republicans. And for whatever reason, the leader decided not to bring it up for a vote. But that gives me hope that, we are able to come together and talk about issues and find a way.
And over 90% of the American public is in support of strengthening background checks. So you can't say that's partisan. That's just, it's caught up in some lobbying stuff. There's money that's making our Congress people not be able to pass stuff that the American people want. As Jennifer Lawrence talked about, what we want makes a statistically insignificant effect on what actually happens. So let's stop letting these clowns decide what we do or don't get. Let's let the people decide what we get. That's my
Amen.
There it is.
That's, I think, the most important thing about having a surge of voters, because it shows that people are paying attention and that they care about a lot of issues. And regardless of whether their red team or blue team wins, the majority of American people actually agree on quite a lot of these issues. And I love that you pointed out specifically on things like gun reform, which you would never know according to how the media necessarily portrays it, but actually quite a lot of people agree across the aisle. And so that's this is, I think, why this telethon is so critical and important, is that we are really focusing and centering the voter. and saying that what you care about, no matter how this election goes, matters and should be moved upon. And that's why it's so critical. The state legislatures, the senators, the Congress people, all of it gets voted upon so that we can start having real debate and have some real traction on these issues, state by state, city by city, nationwide. And that's the possibility that we have right now, which is really, really awesome.
It looks like a sandwich. I can't really do it good.
All right. It's a hard sandwich, and it's
I was sending a heart to Rosario.
That's fine.
Not to you, Ben. Not to you.
Not to you, Ben. Now, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. So just kidding. I would love to take this opportunity to share a message from Golden Globe nominee Eva Longoria. We've got a little pre-tape from her, Phil Rosenthal, a little pre-tape, and we would love to throw to that.
Hi, I'm Eva Longoria. I'm one of the to inspire and inform Latinas, and also for Latinas to get out there and vote. I know. Hollywood tells you that we are hot and spicy and caliente and other words used to describe salsa, but we are also very politically charged and active. We are socially conscious, and we're civically engaged, and we're civically responsible, which is why a few of my friends and I got together to form a coalition of Latina women who are empowered and informed about what is happening in our country right now. And we want you to join us by having your voice heard at the voting booth, in the voting booth. And if you're still not sure, she se puede. Yes, she can. All right, I gotta go now because I'm craving salsa.
Murray, look, we're on the telethon. Look, Murray, this is Murray, everybody, and I'm Phil Rosenthal from Somebody Feed Phil, and Murray and I want you to exercise your rights as Americans to go vote. Don't throw it away. Come on, that's what makes us Americans. We can vote for who we want. People, do it. Go to telethonforamerica.com and please vote. Do it for Murray. Yes, your boy. Yes, your puppy.
We are back, everybody. We are back. That was some.
Woo!
Woo! I have faith.
That was beautiful.
It was great.
Can we talk to some more of our video bank? Have you guys done calls yet? How's it going? Is it going good?
Yeah. Calls with
great.
pledges?
Nobody's asked me to do shit yet. Open. Nothing. I got nothing over here.
Just randomly dialing
blanket
people
behind me. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck is going on?
Like to talk to us about the climate. Joshua, would you like to take this issue on for a second?
Sure. In the presence of an actual doctor who does this actually with everything every day of her life, sure, I'll just jump in right here.
I'll just be here to fact check you as needed. Please lead away.
Ooh, I love real-time fact check.
Lord.
It makes debate
Real-time
so
fact
much
check.
more
I'm
fun.
having massive, this is like all my worst high school nightmares coming true in real time publicly. Wow, this is great. So the simple high level stuff is your vote tomorrow is a vote to put us back into the Paris Accords. Because if we get 4 senators to shift from the Republican to the Democratic side, we can actually vote for climate sanity. There's a bill already in Congress. But really what your vote is to bring American leadership back to the planet, because the planet doesn't have 4 more years to wait. We have waited too long. I don't think there's a single person, certainly on this call, but there's nobody who was born anywhere in the X or Z generations who can really think that climate change is a hoax anymore. My generation has failed miserably at leading on this issue. And so sadly, we've left it up to the next generation to save the planet from us. So that's what you're voting for. Because as much as we have a pandemic, as much as we have racial strife inside of this country right now, as much as we have massive inequality, the planet and physics won't wait for us. So you have to choose now to drag this country into the greatest crisis the planet has ever seen. American leadership is a must. Originally Canadian, we trust you guys. We believe in you guys. I can vote down here now. It's amazing, but you got to get off your asses and vote on this, because if we don't demand change, the people who are in charge will not change. They're not going to do it for us. We have to hold their feet to the fire.
Well said.
That's it.
Well said.
And now my paper will be graded by an actual doctor who actually does this for a living.
Joanna Elizabeth Johnson here with not a fact check, but some additional information.
Right.
I would just add that, you know, if we're comparing the climate plans of the two presidential candidates, I went to Donald Trump's website to see what his climate plan was. He lists his environmental achievements as opening up more of our public lands to oil and gas drilling, as creating more pipelines, as leaving the Paris Agreement. As Josh said, we would leave the United Nations Climate Agreement on November 4th in 2 days if Trump is reelected. Sort of like giving up our global leadership. We're the country who's emitted the most greenhouse gases over the course of the last 50 years. So that's Trump's climate plan, is subsidize the fossil fuel industry to the tune of tens of billions of dollars, including in the Recovery Act, instead of investing in green jobs. And on the other side, you have Biden, whose plan, honestly, wasn't that good early in the primary, but he's super gotten it together. And now the goal is 100% renewable electricity by 2035 and 40% of funds for climate going to disadvantaged communities to make that transition. And the dude even has mangroves listed in his climate plan, which as a marine biologist makes me extremely happy that the ocean is getting some love. So yeah, they really are, if you just look at what they're saying on their websites about what they're committing to, they couldn't be more different. And to just echo what others were saying about the importance of local elections, please look up your local candidates. They're the ones who are deciding if you have bike lanes, composting, good public transit, if you have a good energy efficiency for your building codes, if you have power plants in your neighborhood, if you're holding fossil fuel companies accountable. That's like city council, utility commission, state senate. And so for those who are looking for advice on, or information on the climate records of members of Congress, incumbents, and people running, there's a website called voteclimatepac.org, and it'll tell you how these people have voted on climate issues in the past. So it's a great resource if you want to know if you, like me, are primarily a climate voter.
I love that. Thank you so much, Ayana. We really appreciate it.
You got it. Got some climate policy facts.
We love an expert.
And now we are going to go to one of the executive producers of this telethon who has a few words and something she would like to talk about. Please give a very warm welcome to my dear friend, Alyssa Milano.
So, I want to talk about what's going to happen in the next 24 hours, really, and how this is going to shape up. Because I think it's really, really important that we all know and that we all recognize that in a democracy, every single vote is counted. And so what we may see in the next, we don't know for sure, but we might see that a candidate might decide, even before all the votes are counted, that they're going to go on Twitter and declare victory. This is when we all, including the media, needs to call out that that is not okay. So everyone that's watching this, everyone that's in this room, we should all use hashtags count every vote and hashtag every vote counts. And now I also want to say this. In the last 4 years, I've seen a level of engagement that has been truly remarkable as someone who's been doing this this work for 20 years. It's blown my mind, and it's been incredibly, incredibly special to witness. But I want everyone to think of the election not as the end, but as the beginning of a new era with whoever is going to get voted into office, because there is so much we still have to fight for. And I'm just going to use the example, let's say that Joe Biden is elected and we flip the Senate and we hold the House. So we're probably only going to have 2 years of that kind of power, if that is the case, if that is what happens. And we must commit to fight just as hard every day after that, to put forth policy that is going to protect the integrity of the American people, that is going to protect equality for all, for women's rights, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, Latinx rights, indigenous rights. We all have to promise that the work does not stop on November 4th, that we continue the work. And I just want to say a thank you for everybody who's here tonight with us, but also everyone who is at home, even my trolls. You're all awesome, and I will fight for your right to call me whatever horrible names you want to call me, because in a democracy that is what's allowed. So remember, hashtag count every vote, and hashtag every vote counts. And God bless you all, and God bless America.
Alyssa Milano, beautifully said it.
Not as the end, but as the beginning of a new era.
You are a very passionate person. You've always been this.
Have I always been this passionate? Yeah.
See, this is why I wanted to name myself Sam after your show when I was a little kid, because you came through the television screen like that, and I was like,
and now
now
I just want to be you. So see,
I'm mad I didn't wear the glasses. I missed the glasses club situation.
Full circle. We have come full circle.
I grew up thinking that Samantha was Samantha. That's how I thought. Somebody else here who'd like to tell us a little bit about Election Day and some thoughts. And it's a man that you might know from a show called Breaking Bad, you might know from a show called Mr. Show, and you might know from Better Call Saul. Bob Odenkirk, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, wait. Unmute myself. Hi, everyone, and anybody who's watching. This is what I look like without makeup and a hairpiece. I think I probably look better, actually. You guys have made such great speeches. I've heard such wonderful information and thoughtful and spirited speeches. And I'm here to talk about, there's a certain group of people out there and they know who they are and nobody else knows who they are. They're the people who've never actually voted, but every time election comes around, they find a way to sneak an I voted sticker from a friend, one that falls off their jacket. Maybe they steal it. Maybe it's on the ground. It's so sad that some of you have done this. You picked it up like a dirty tramp, like an old-time vagabond. You picked up a rotten, stinky, used I voted sticker, and you put it on and parade it around. You parade it around as though you had actually done that. Listen, I got good news for you, you layabout. There's same-day registration in a lot of states. And some surprising states where you can, if you're not registered because you moved there or because you just have always dragged your butt around, if you're in Alaska, California, there's a lot of people in Alaska. Sure. And if you're listening to me, you can register tomorrow and vote. California, Colorado, Connecticut, DC, Hawaii, Idaho, right? Idaho. They've got open minds. They want your vote tomorrow. Illinois, Iowa, Maine. Iowa's a big one this year. Maine, Maryland, Minnesota, Montana, New Hampshire. Are you in North Carolina? My sister's there. You can go vote. You can register and vote on the same day. North Dakota, of all places. Utah, of all places. Vermont, Washington, Wisconsin, Wyoming. So I wanted to give you that list and encourage people who, look, it's a weird thing, right? Where you promise yourself you're doing it, and you never get around to it. But this is a year I think a lot of people are going to get around to it. Not necessarily always for the best reason. COVID has given some of us too much free time that we don't even want. But I hope that you're registered. And if you're in those states, you can register on the same day and vote. So I want everyone to vote. And I'm always trying to be sensitive to everybody on the political spectrum. I really think that the more people that vote, it's just better in every way. And I'm on the sides, politically on the side of many of you, but I think that the greatest achievement we can get out of this election, and you're going to think I'm joking, is to get hopefully a president who doesn't tweet angry commentary all through the night, and so that you wake up every morning a little bit scared of what fire might have been lit. And I can't believe that more people don't see that manipulation as manipulation. And I am shocked at the number of people on the right say, things like, well, I could do without the tweets, as though it was some small thing that didn't really have a consequence. It does have a consequence. It's almost more dangerous than anything else that's being done, because it degrades people's belief in the system and in each other, and it makes us angry at each other, and it just creates I actually, you probably don't agree with me, many of you, but I think one of the greatest things that can be brought with hopefully a win by Joe Biden would be a degree of decency that could come back into our lives. Did I get too serious?
Oh, I think it's good. And if anything, people should go and watch the Social Dilemma documentary, so you can see not just from how this current administration is necessarily using social media, but just social media in general, and how so many people are getting so much of their information that way. There's not a lot of regulations on it. There's a lot of misinformation. And that's why events like this are so critical, because we can give folks unfiltered, straight, no noise facts, but that they can work with to show up tomorrow and vote their values and vote their interests and vote their issues. And so we can't keep highlighting the negative and what's out there and keep pointing to it, that's not good, because it only amplifies it. The best thing that we can do is use that social media to counter that noise and give people verifiable things so that they can make stronger and better choices and not vote against themselves. So one of the videos that we're going to share with you right now was actually done by Ty Burrell and Alec Baldwin. I hope that you will enjoy, and I hope they got some good information for you.
So some people say they don't want to register to vote because they don't want jury duty, which is crazy, because jury duty is amazing. It's like Law and Order Live. I know, because even though my eyebrows make me look like a prehistoric caveman, I am actually a modern day American. And I went. What I found out was that jury duty is actually super cool. I met a bunch of interesting people. We had a cool case about a dude who ran a sketchy laundromat and double-crossed his friends. And justice was served. And it was better than Law and Order, because In
You are
this
currently
real-life
enjoying the
Law and
logo
Order,
for the
I wasn't a
Telethon for
terrible young
America,
actor
presented by
like I
Represent
was on the
Us.
television
And please
show
keep in mind,
Law and Order.
parts of this will
And
be
it
a
felt
shit
really
show on
good
account
to
of it
be
being the
on a
year
jury of
2020.
someone's peers, like
We're
the
trying
Bill
to do
of
what
Rights
we
promises
can
me
with limited
if I ever run a
technology
sketchy laundry
to help ensure the
You
strength
can
of our
still
democracy.
register to vote in
Please
21 states,
have
so go to
patience. I
Telethon
mean,
for
seriously, it could be
America
worse.
to find out if you're one of those lucky people.
What up, everybody? This is Jay Ellis from HBO's Insecure. Listen, people, we have been holed up in our house for 7 months now. And if you have not already gotten out to vote, tomorrow you have to leave your house and go vote. That's right. And because I don't want any of you guys to look like some of the zombies from The Walking Dead, I'm going to give you a few tips to look right at the polls. All right, voting tip number 1. I always get a haircut before I go to the polls. That's right, because you're standing in a long line and you just want your face, you want to look right. You know what I'm saying? Voting tip number 2, here we go. Sneaker game on point. That's right, because the lines are long. So you got to have the right balance of style and comfort. All right, voting tip number 3. This is the last one. This is really for the fellas. Your beard game, right? Some of us have grown beards during this quarantine, during this time we've been at home, and you want to go out and you want to show your beard off. So you got to make sure it's moisturized. I use argan oil. And, it's really important that you shape it up. You get it cleaned up, you know what I'm saying? Because you took a lot of time to grow this thing, and good things take time, like my beard. And vote.
By now, it should be clear to everyone that this election is the most important of our lifetime. So here is an appeal to the young people of America. This is your election, your moment. Seize it like your life depends on it, because, frankly, it does. It is not just the future of our country that is at stake in this election, but also the future of our planet. Climate change, the single greatest existential threat to people and our planet, is on the ballot. Every year is getting measurably hotter than the last, intensifying wildfires, droughts, storms, and floods. We need to elect leaders that recognize the climate emergency and all global environmental and social justice issues as American issues. There is no walling ourselves off from them, no isolating ourselves. The pandemic, itself a byproduct of our broken relationship with nature, must surely have taught us that. By destroying forests and wildlife, we put ourselves in harm's way for diseases like COVID. We are all connected in this world, and we need leaders that embrace the need for international cooperation. What happens in another corner of the planet is of critical importance to the health, safety, livelihoods, and well-being of Americans. Take the accelerating destruction of the Amazon rainforest. Research shows that deforestation in the Amazon can impact weather patterns around the globe and rainfall in our own country for food production. The Amazon rainforest is nearing an irreversible tipping point and could collapse. Forests, wildlife, and a global climate regulation system that took millions of years to evolve are being cut down or burned in days or weeks. The collapse of the Amazon will mean absolute climate chaos. This is a critical time, but there is still hope. Fortunately, we know what it will take to stop deforestation and climate change. It comes down to action by governments on laws, enforcement, and finance supported by a civil society and business. When you vote for candidates who support strong climate action, who understand the need for international cooperation and American leadership, you are making a difference. So my appeal, vote like your life depends on it. Vote like all of our lives depend on it, because we need you. Only 30% of Gen Z voters and 50% of Gen X voters turned out to vote in the 2018 midterm elections. Even so, you still outvoted older people. You now make up the majority of voting eligible adults. That means that you can be the difference makers in this election. But you have to show up. Please vote. Please tell all of your friends to vote. Vote for the issues that inspire you, and vote for the future of this beautiful planet of ours. Thank you.
All right, that was Alec Baldwin, everybody, speaking about this planet of ours, our little planet, that's all. And I would love now to kick it to a dear friend of mine with a message that comes to you from one of the presenting sponsors of this event about a cause that I think is very important. Sophia Bush, please take it away.
Hello. Hello. We're about democracy. I love this. Also, Esther, I'm dying to know what was making you giggle like that while we were all muted, but we'll talk about it later. Guys, we talk about amazing anti-corruption organizations like Represent Us, who have 87% bipartisan support. By the way, I get a little excited and sometimes I run over my words. They have something really important for us to all think about, and it revolves around America's capital. There are 750,000 American citizens that call Washington, D.C. home. I'm talking teachers, nurses, firefighters, custodians, Washingtonians. They all do the same things that the rest of us do, like raise families and pay taxes and fight in our wars. But unlike everyone else in America, they're not represented in Congress, which feels insane, which means that they are subjected to politically motivated whims of politicians, many of whom don't actually live in the District of Columbia. I know, it feels weird. I mean, these people don't even have a name for their football team because apparently in 2020, not being racist is partisan. Y'all, come on. We need to fix this. All Americans have the right to representation, whether it's in Congress, on the football field, whatever. If you're not a sports person, I don't sport either, but this is important to people. Folks deserve to have their voices heard no matter where they live. And statehood for Washington, D.C. is actually about treating all American citizens fairly and as equals. So, learn more about DC statehood. You can text 51st, as in 51ST, to the number 52886. And maybe also suggest a non-horrible name for the football team. I don't know.
I love it. Thank you, Sophia Bush. And that is, of course, from the amazing organization DC, fighting for DC statehood for a very long time. Please look into them. Please text that code. To tell it to you one more time, if I may, the code is, you can text 51st 51ST to 52886. And I would like to now say hello to Busy Phillips, who's with us. Busy, are you there?
Busy Phillips. Busy Phillips.
Joshua.
I'm very excited by this next guest.
Oh, hi, Josh.
Hi, Biz.
How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm good. Congratulations on
Thank
everything.
you. Yeah, it's been a hell of a year. What have you been up to?
Not much. Things seem chill. Mercury in retrograde. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here though. Let's get voting, everybody. What?
Have you voted yet, or you're voting tomorrow?
I voted. Yes, I voted. I did absentee. I already voted. I voted a long time ago, and I vote in California. I've lived there for 22 years, but I recently moved to New York City, and so I did an absentee ballot. But California is one of the states that has a way to track your ballot, so you go online, and then you can see when your vote has gone in.
But now, Busy, just to make sure that we dispel some myths here, you send in an absentee ballot, you mail it in. Are you a dead person?
Am I what?
Are you a dead person, or are you?
I'm alive. I'm alive.
You are alive. Interesting. Are any of your friends dead, and do you know if they mailed in ballots or made up fake ballots, or is it all living people that you know of that's mailed in votes?
I mean, listen, the veil has been thin for the last few days. I don't know if you know that, but everyone that I know that's voted by mail is alive.
Zoom call with Joshua Jack.
Somebody might want to check on Dom Herrera, for Christ's sakes. I don't know how he's doing.
Dom Herrera disappeared. Dom Herrera is just gone now, you guys. That's fine. Dom is.
I would die.
We can give him a minute. And I would like now, if I could, thank you for joining us, Busy. We'll be putting you into a breakout room soon with our lucky.
Tell you.
Reminder, go to telethonforamerica.com.
The voting.
Like to vote and to bring your friends to the polls at the bottom of the homepage. That increases your chance to get invited here into our Zoom to speak one-on-one in a video chat with our celebrity participants. And now I would like to bring on a live performance. This show is produced by Nowhere Comedy. If you guys don't know what it is, during the pandemic with Steve Hofstetter, I created the world's first virtual comedy club because entertainment for the planet stopped and we couldn't see live entertainment. And so we figured, let's figure out a way to create a comedy club experience in a virtual world where the mics are on and it's wild and crazy. And of course, some stuff goes wrong sometimes, like for tonight. We're trying to make our best use of this crazy technology in the world's craziest year, but we still did it. So by the way, you can check out nowherecomedyclub.com, get tickets to a live show, and you'll see a little sample of one of our dear friends right now performing from right here, the Nowhere Comedy Club stage in Los Angeles. Give a warm welcome to a man starring in a film coming out on Christmas Day on Amazon called Sylvie's Choice. Or you might have seen his Showtime special, You Can't Cancel This. Give it up for Tone Bell, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for doing what you're doing. Secondly, Ben, that you got both titles wrong. That is not the name of my special or the name of the movie coming out. But we got bigger fish to fry. That's not. Somebody tell them this is my sticker for real. I voted 3 days ago, but I've been wearing this hoodie for 2 days too. Let me tell you something. I don't know if anybody walked up to the ballot. Like I walked to the ballot box instead of mailing. I did the ballot box. I did the ballot box thing, and I met. There's like 2 other guys and an older white woman, and the 4 of us like were dropping in the same. It was like one of those funny feelings where like, because we all got our mask on, but everybody's about to put their ballot in, and then because you're not really talking, but everybody just looks at each other and goes, "Good luck." Oh man, we all got Oh man, but once again, like, everybody who's popped in, I've been here for about 20-30 minutes watching everybody. Thank you for your efforts and your resilience and your patience with everything that's going on. It's really heavy. It's really heavy, and it's hard to get outside of seeing this all day, every day. But I just regular shit. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just want to get back. I just like remember when straws was a thing? We were complaining about straws. Like, I remember in LA it was like straws was going away because of turtles, and then COVID resurrected straws, and then now nobody gives a fuck about turtles. Like I don't. Let me ask you a question. Just you can think to yourself. You don't have to answer out loud. But when is the last time you said "bless you" to a stranger? It's been about 50. You know what I mean? Somebody you're throwing out there, but a stranger, you like. If somebody sneezes around you now, you'd be like, "Are you? What is wrong with you?" 6 months ago, I was in that. I don't know. I think everybody's kind of flipped. I don't know. Everybody's different. You know, you gotta know your audience. You gotta know your audience. Like anything, you have to know your audience. And I guess I don't know. I'm in this place of like, I'm trying to figure. God damn it! My dog just got in here. Leave. Hey, I'm back. Let's keep it professional. Like, I just want. Do you remember 6-8 months ago when you just all you did was cook because you were at home. You just cook. I'm just cooking everything, and then we finally got tired of doing dishes. So you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna roll these dice and order food. I'm just roll these dice. I can't keep on cooking anymore. I'm done with this, right? And finally, because I actually the commercials got better. I don't know if you like all the commercials like, oh, we're gonna do, we're gonna sanitize, we're gonna be better. Like Domino's had that one where it was like, hey, from now on, when after your pizza comes out the oven, nobody's gonna touch it. You're like, who the fuck was touching my pizza before? I was touching my pizzas after it came out the oven. What's out here taking pizzas at 400 degrees? And that makes you realize, like, for the last 25 years, they've been sending out pizzas out butt naked. There's just no line of defense. No line of defense. You just got that cardboard hinge, and just on the way to your house when somebody just putting their hand directly on top of your pizza on that little ottoman. That's it. But now they put a safety. They call it a safety seal. They put a safety seal on it. It's a sticker. Don't call it something that. It's a sticker. It's on one side and sticky on the other. That's a sticker. 5 years ago, they was fixing streets. Get the crust right. Don't worry about the roads. Get the crust right now, Miller. All right, I think that's my time, y'all. Hey, man, once again, thank y'all for everybody, what you're doing.
Tone Bell, everybody, Tone Bell.
If you're a New Yorker, you know all about that cuchi frito, and it's all about having like that leftover oil that they never change out, so you get that real sabor. So maybe the pizza was getting licked or something in the past, and that's what made it taste so good. You don't know. You don't know. It's a special sauce. I love how much pizza has been talked about on this tonight. It is my favorite food. All right, we're gonna just let someone randomly into the call. But we're hoping it's Carrie Wash. Well, did I not say?
Well, late now. It's too late.
Marrera.
Well, I got Carrie Wash. It could be anybody. There's a lot of Carrie Washes. I'm so
Thomas
sure.
gonna pass away before the end of this.
I tried. I don't know if you're still on here, busy. I tried to say hi, but I got randomly muted by the host. I think it was Ben.
Oh, you're busy. It's not busy.
Wait, is that Carrie?
Busy is
Carrie Wash.
I had her. There we go. Oh, she's already been added. Hello.
I'm not Kerry Washington, Rosario.
You're not?
So far, we've learned that you are not dead and you're not Kerry Washington. This is.
I sort of sometimes wish I were either one.
No.
Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. It's all going to be better tomorrow.
A very important message from another one of the amazing organizations helping make this event come to life. And we're going to go back to Alyssa Milano to share with us a few words about an amazing organization called Unify. Alyssa?
Thank you, Ben. Well, as everyone can see, we've been working our asses off tonight to make sure that your voice is heard through your vote tomorrow. And it's 2020, so we all really appreciate the work. But that is just the beginning. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the deep-pocketed lobbyists and how, they don't go home after Election Day. So I believe that we shouldn't go home either. And, I totally get it. It's hard to know where to even begin to make this whole thing work for all of us. But that is where Unify comes in, and it's super cool. Unify is a nonprofit organization that brings all kinds of people together to reduce division and create a more equitable, resilient, and unified world. And when I say all of us, I'm talking a multi-generational, multi-racial, multi-ideology, everything community here. This is a space for you, and there is a space for you in Unified, no matter who you are. So through convenings, a neighborhood-based grassroots program, a leaders network, and issue-specific solution labs, Unify makes it easy for you to do anything from, like starting a community garden to tackling big issues like climate change and criminal justice reform. So right after the election, Unify is starting a solutions agenda setting process, arming you to accelerate progress on the solutions to the key challenges that you care about. So, to get involved, text voice to 508-205-0757 or go to www.unify, but spelled YOUNIFY.org.
One more time on that code. There was an audio problem. One more time, Alyssa.
On the code part,
Yes, please.
you can text voice to 508-205-0757 or go to
Oh my goodness, if I get picked, I'm gonna pass out.
www.unify.org. And Unify is spelled YOUNFY.org. And you could do it tonight. So just be proactive in trying to really unite the country, and go check out Unify.
Thank you so much, Alyssa Milano.
Awesome. That was so good. So Carrie Wash isn't here, but we have Carrie period. So or punto in español.
Oh, look at this. Why don't you guys talk?
Hi.
Hi.
Carrie Wash.
I'm sitting in my car because I just got off the plane. I was in Michigan all day helping to turn out the vote. So I just got off the plane. I was like,
Yes.
amazing party before it's over.
Yo, I'm loving all the jewelry, the whole look though. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna roll. You're like, yo, let's do this. So like, let's talk about the
It was so
VOTE.
cold. It was so cold in Michigan. I was like, oh my gosh, I've gotten so.
How's the vibe in Michigan, Carrie? How does it feel on the ground?
You know, it's really exciting that it feels like people know how much they matter. You know what I mean? Like I feel like to me, when I vote, that is my statement of mattering in the world, that I matter, that my values, that my views matter. And so you get that feeling in Michigan, like people really understand how needed they are in a functioning democracy. So that's just like, it's so great to be out there and to be reminding them.
I love that.
Yeah. I always found that, like, doing voter registration with people, it's like it's so quick to register and it always throws people just how quick it is. And it also, you see this expansiveness where you suddenly, like the civil rights movement, the suffragette movement, the suffragist movement, everything suddenly comes to life, vivid life, and you feel like you're a part of a community.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're a part of a struggle. You feel like you have a voice. It's like, it's a whole other thing. And it's really powerful to then turn that into not just voter registration, but into voter turnout. Because, we need people to vote at least 3 times, we find, before they become a voter for life, if it's not something that's passed down to them. So to make it an identity. How has that been for you? Why is voting such a big thing for you?
The thing I've been saying a lot lately, because I think this is really true, is like, we pay their salaries, right? Like elected officials work for us. When we pay our taxes, we pay their salaries. And so to me, in a way, voting is how you boss up. Like otherwise you have people out here working for you, but you're not holding them accountable. You're not saying like, you work for me, you need to be accountable for the decisions you make. You need to be representing me in that office as your constituent. So I really feel like if we don't vote, then we're like irresponsible bosses. We're asleep at the wheel. We're not controlling our business. And I see people light up when I say that, because I think people forget how much agency we have to make change in our own communities. We think that somebody else is the boss, that somebody else is supposed to make change. But no, they're making change on our behalf according to our directives. They work for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, since the scandal years, people, whenever there's a crisis, people are constantly like, Olivia Pope, you have to fix this. Like, Olivia Pope, you got to save the day. And I just keep saying to people, she actually has so little power. Like Olivia Pope is a character on television, but you have the power to transform your community, your city, your state, the country. You really have the power.
And I love that you're talking about them being, that we're being their boss, and the job that we've given them not only pays their salary, but it's a salary and it's a job that comes with really good health care. And I think, and as we're in the middle of COVID right now, and a lot of people who've lost their jobs and their healthcare was tied to their jobs, there's a lot of fear right now. And so, that's one of the things, as we've talked about climate change, that healthcare is really on the ballot. Can you speak a little bit to that, if that's something that's been coming up while you're out there?
Yeah, I love that you said that. It's true. It's like our elected officials, they have fantastic healthcare because they know how important it is to have healthcare, right? To be able to do your job. I think of a similar idea around in the military. Like there's incredible childcare in the military because we know how effective it is for families when you take care of kids. And so we need to start to treat all Americans as being as valuable as those we put in leadership. Because we're seeing it. We're seeing it now. The country's so vulnerable and we have to protect each other. This virus doesn't discriminate. It doesn't only infect people of a certain socioeconomic background or race. Everyone is vulnerable. So we have to take care of each other. And we're seeing that obviously some of us are being hit more by the virus because we don't have access to the same resources. But the science of the virus is the same for everybody. So we have to look out for each other.
Yeah, I think it's, we have almost half the population percentage wise in the Latino community and Latinx community, but it's over 30% that is represented as essential workers and how they're getting really hard hit. So, it's a community, it's the second largest voting bloc in this election. They've gotten to that space and could really decide. It's not a monolithic voting group, but it's one that could be really, really decisive. What kind of stuff are you seeing is really motivating people? Were you talking about specific issues besides necessarily healthcare that is getting people to say, you know what, this time I'm making sure I'm voting?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the things that are on people's minds, there's so much that's on people's minds, but the four epidemics keep coming up for me. The global pandemic of coronavirus, the economic downturn that we're in, the systematic racism that we're facing, and the climate crisis. Like those four issues are the ones that keep coming up again and again, and they're so connected to each other actually, which people are really starting to put together. I know I'm really starting to see how real that is.
Yeah, well, obviously, like environmental injustice, I really I think for a long time during COVID, people were like, how are we ever going to go back out and be with each other again? And after George Floyd's murder, we ended up seeing people going from, I'm bored at home and I'm learning how to make banana bread, to a week later out there being like, Black trans lives matter, and it's like really, really powerful to see that humanity when, just moments before people were so scared about how they were going to get out of their house, that it was humanity that brought them out into the streets to say that we stand up for each other. How is that, you think, translating from, we always talk about that, you're going and marching in the streets, but are you going to actually march to the polls?
I know, right? It takes so many kinds of engagement to create change. Like, I think I love that so many of us were marching, and now we need to vote according to those values because we need all kinds of pressure to hold our systems accountable. And some of that happens in the voting booth and some of that happens out on the street. And so doing what you can, also like knowing who are you and how do you want to engage, right? Like not everybody wants to go to Michigan to be in the cold to get people out. Some people want to write a check. Some people want to bake cookies and sell them and donate the money somewhere. Like, people, I think it's important to kind of ask yourself, like, in what way everybody needs to give, right? For a democracy to work, we all have to engage. We're learning that. We all have to show up. So what is it that you can give? What's your superpower? What do you have to offer, and figure out how to lend that toward democracy?
I love that came up a lot during Standing Rock about the keyboard warriors. Not everybody could actually get out to the Dakotas, but they could go out there and they could amplify it online.
Yeah.
Is there any hashtags? I mean, we're obviously pledged to vote. Every vote counts. Count every vote. Any hashtags, any particular messages you think that should be amplified right now that could be encouraging for folks?
No, you said them all. You said all the ones I've been saying, of course, because you're amazing. And this is amazing, by the way. I just want to thank you guys for doing this. This is so cool that you're giving people an opportunity to party and come together and like chat and play and meet each other. And it's so cool that you're doing this. But yeah, I just think everybody, you know what, I'll say this, like, we have all this research now that the impact that you or I can have when Rosario Dawson comes out and says, like, everybody vote, or Kerry Washington comes out and says, everybody vote, like, we can have a little bit of an impact. But the real person who can impact voting behavior is you, all listeners, right? Like, when people call their family members, their friends, their cousins, their roommates, when they say, I want you to vote, that has so much of a bigger impact than like somebody in the public eye, a celebrity, says, I want you to vote. And so, like, to step into that power, even if you voted, to know that reaching out in that personal way can really be the change. It's really important that people get out the vote. These decisions, these margins are going to be very narrow. So make sure that you are encouraging people to vote in ways that reflect your values and theirs.
Thank you so much for that. You know, you, American Alicia, were just doing something really similar just a couple of days ago. We need all hands on deck, and we cannot keep preaching. We couldn't preach to the choir enough about all of this. And I'm just so grateful for your voice out there and championing of everyone else's voices.
I love you. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Carrie, I just have one question for you. Have you considered, in solidarity with DC getting statehood, changing your name to Kerry Washington, DC? Have you thought about it? I think it would be nice.
I hadn't considered it, but I'm open.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna mull it over tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very
I
much.
think we go the other way. I think we rename the football team the Washington Carries.
I'm all
There we go.
I'll run up and down the field.
Great suggestion, Josh Jackson. I
The
love
Washington Carry Washington. I think it's perfect. Hey, boss.
We also have a lot of great comedians joining us that I would love to bring into the conversation, but I'd like to first, and this time our Celebrity Video Bank will see the video because it's coming right through our Zoom, is we have a few highlights to share from the Celebrity Video Bank because we are now being joined by Sarah Silverman. And Nikki Glazer is also, hi Sarah, good to see you, by the way.
Are you naked?
Who naked, Sarah?
Oh, you've been.
Oh, not naked.
She's not naked, she's fully wearing clothes. We can see you, yes.
Who said, are you naked? Oh,
Rosario, right here. I was very upset that I was left out of the naked ballot video.
That is bullshit. Rosario, I love you.
I love you so much.
Sarah, you just had a nice interaction with somebody in the video bank, I am told. And so before you say more live, why not you on tape? Can we please see a moment from the private Celebrity Video Bank calls that you can get to if you go to telethonforamerica.com and pledge right now to vote at the bottom of the homepage or to bring your friends to the polls. This is what Sarah Silverman talked about with one of our lucky voters who will be voting tomorrow. Here it comes.
I've been hounding my friends and my family members, like, please, this is a huge election and Ohio is a really big state. We need to make sure we're all doing our part. And I wanted to make sure that I had enough time, especially with the mail-in ballot, because the world is crazy, that I could have enough time to turn it in. So I did at least 2 weeks early, counted it, make sure it was all tracked down, and we're all good to go.
Awesome. And where are you in Ohio?
I'm in Cleveland right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was just there in August.
Yeah. It's snowing now, so I'm sure you saw it when it was prettier than this.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah.
I was in Yellow Springs and we went to, is Cleveland near Yellow Springs? That's the clip. That was the clip?
That was it. I guess so. I don't know. That was, I don't think they've seen your podcast and seen your clips because you can go in.
Aaron Vaughn is dying.
All of that therapy.
I did like 4 of those, and that was like the first minute of it. That's the clip.
Sarah,
It's a tease. We want more people pledging to vote so they can get some of that.
That was an ad for that? wasn't listening. I barely. That was not me at my best. And I'm sure every celebrity on here will do better than that. That clip was terrible. I'm sorry. You know, my brain like grips onto something and it won't let go. But that was the clip. Someone's in charge of pulling a clip, and that was the clip they pulled.
Yep.
Of everything I said.
Yep.
Okay.
Would it make you feel better if we fire the person? I'll fire him right now.
I want them fired on the air. I want to see it.
Yo, your pup is following your hands for that food so hard.
Like, oh my God, I just love pizza. I was just talking about it today.
Let's see if we have a better clip in our second attempt, and my hopes are not high. We have another clip starring Nikki Glazer.
This will be probably hilarious.
A very lucky
or
vote.
poignant.
Please play this and praise God it's better. Let's see.
I afterwards I was like I wanted to cry. I like went in being like, oh whatever, vote. Like I mean I was excited, but afterwards it just felt I think my mom and I hugged, which we hadn't touched in a really long time. So that was good that it got us to connect again. We haven't since, but yeah, it just felt so good. I'm so nervous about tomorrow, but this is a nice distraction tonight.
Literally, like my anxiety this week has just been like
I know. What are you doing for it? What do you do when you get really like anxious? What are your coping mechanisms?
I hold my cat and then just don't let go until things are kind of okay. And then I just fall into an internet rabbit hole until I like black out.
Yeah. Just like you just like go on YouTube, like entertaining things or like disturbing news stuff. Like, are you staying away from news?
I try, but then I'm like, I don't want to be uninformed.
Where are you right now? Are you in your room looks so nice and goes,
She did not want to be here.
Fuzzy!
Look how much better that clip was.
Fucking clip.
That was
That's a
great.
clip. That's a
That
clip.
was so much better.
That had a cat.
That was really better.
The cat wins.
Did you ever wonder, Sarah, maybe it was you. Maybe we got great producers. Maybe you phoned in the beginning of your first clip and then you really got your stride afterwards.
You know, that's true. But of the 4 meetings I had, maybe not the first 20 seconds where I'm like getting my notes and organizing things. I don't know. Maybe that's interesting, or maybe that shows my true self. You know,
No, you're always very lovely.
Take that on.
You're always very lovely and very focused, so I will take the blame for that. But you have to understand, we also have to need the time to then upload it to an editor, cut it, and then cut it back. So it's got to be the first call oftentimes.
Yeah.
To get on early. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No warm-up times.
I'm going to have several notes after this.
You should see the chat.
I'm going to take a look at the chat.
They're pouring in. While you go look at that, let's throw to Ed Helms, who's going to give us a little word via video.
He's here live with us. He's here live.
Oh, is he live?
There's Ed Helms right there.
Yeah. No, actually, no, I pre-taped all this. This is all pre-taped. So everything I'm saying is I pre-taped, and because I anticipated everything you were going to say, and I anticipated Sarah Silverman's amazing contribution to the history of video chatting. That was a phenomenal clip of Sarah Silverman. Sarah, I am inspired. I think I am moved, and I am deeply stirred, and I aspire to that. And don't you dare play a single clip from my chats, because they were worse than that. Every single one was worse than that. But no, I actually spoke to some really nice people, but there just was no moment that seemed particularly exciting, or a moment that I would be excited to share.
That's not
what
they.
Literally everyone you talk to is crying right now.
That's not. I'm saying like worthy of show business hilarity. They were wonderful, intimate conversations. We got to know each other. It was fabulous. Why am I here? What am I talking about?
Tell us about
it. Why are any of us here? Here's what I want to talk about. There's been some pizza chat. It's very controversial. I have a very strong position that I want to put out there. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and I am willing to take it because there's a lot of stuff dividing America right now. And sometimes stuff's just too important. You got to take a stand. I think that Hawaiian pizza is awesome.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew you were gonna go
Well,
there.
a lot of people. This is very divisive. This is actually torn my family apart. But I do believe that pineapple belongs on pizza, and I'm gonna stand by that. John,
it's good to have the extra electrolytes to help it all go down.
let me say 2 words about gerrymandering, because that's also a thing, and it's also a terrible thing. Gerrymandering, in case you don't know, here I'm actually going to read a definition because it's gerrymandering is a practice intended to establish an unfair political advantage for a particular party or group by manipulating district boundaries. What does that mean? Well, basically, think of it this way. Like you're at why is John DiMaggio's video highlighted? John, I love you. Why are you? I'm talking. What's going on?
That's a great question. I don't think he is highlighted, but maybe he's.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'll just lip sync what
You
you're
just have
saying
to
if you want.
unpin him.
Lip sync what I'm saying. No, where was I? Gerrymandering, pizza. This is all related. The gerrymander. Think of gerrymandering this way. If you, John's nailing it. If you were at a football game and your favorite team like drove all the way down the field and they scored a touchdown and you were like, I'm more entertained by John than anybody. No one else can see that.
No one else can see it. I'm going to explain what's happening.
I'm going to stop referencing
pause your
that.
gerrymandering. I just spotlighted him. You didn't update your Zoom, so that when you didn't update your Zoom, it jumps to all kinds of weird shit when you didn't update your Zoom. I'm blaming you, Ed Helms, and I'm blaming Sarah. I'm not blaming us. I'm not taking any of the responsibility on our shoulders. So just so you know, stay focused. Or put it on gallery mode and tell us about gerrymandering, please.
Okay, you got it.
Gerrymandering is an asshole. I don't like Jerry. Gerrymandering. That guy is such a prick. I will say.
I don't know what's happening. John, I love you. Okay. I was telling you, I had a great metaphor. I was doing this football thing. I'll just finish that real quick. Let's say your favorite team scores a touchdown and you're like, yay, we got 7 points. We're going to win the game. And then the referee is like, actually, we redrew the end zone. And the place where your guy ran into the end zone, that's not part of the end zone anymore. And you don't get those points and you don't win. In fact, you lose. That's cheating. And that's what gerrymandering is. It's a terrible thing. All I'm saying is educate yourselves about this phenomenon because it's it is the opposite of democracy, and yet it is ubiquitous. Vote for the people who don't like it. There are some people who like it, and there are some people who don't like it. Vote for the ones who are going to get rid of it. And that's also why Represent Us is a phenomenal organization, because they are fighting gerrymandering tooth and nail. And so, yeah, there you go. I've taken up too much of your time.
No, not possible. But that was really awesome. And I think that's really critically important. You got to think about exactly that end zone. Suddenly people just redrawing maps like this. So you got places like Iowa, which is a really particularly a big state in this election. And they have a lot of state legislature seats that are up. And if certain of those seats change in a different direction, we're going to have people exactly like you were saying who are going to be voting against that. And we might have fair elections then moving forward because they will actually represent properly the districts that people live in. So these are the kinds of things that are on the ballot. You know, when people talk about down ballot races and down ballot issues, these are the kinds of things that you can find that's happening in your state that you could be voting on that could be really instrumental in communities being heard moving forward. So thank you so much for that.
Hey, right on. I think what you said was even better.
That's not
right
true.
on. Thanks for having me.
Ed, Ed, can I ask you one quick pizza related question?
Absolutely.
Have you ever tried something, no one else that I know has done this, have you ever tried pizza with banana slices on it? Because I think it's fantastic.
What are you doing?
Cheese pizza?
Yeah, that's
It's sacrilegious. Ben, that's fucking sacrilegious. Nobody ever puts.
This just got ugly.
You just pissed the guy off from Jersey, for Christ's sakes. You never put banana or you don't put fruit on pizza.
John?
What have you done?
No.
John?
Well, I'm
John?
sorry, Ed.
Give it a chance. I've never had that, Ben. It sounds horribly disgusting, but I will try it. I will try it because I believe in fruit on pizza. I love a Hawaiian pizza. I will try anything, and I will put it up against any. John, you and I, we're gonna have a
all you have to do is compartmentalize your mouth. I just saw Sarah Silverman nodding in agreement. Sarah, have you tried this? Are you open?
I believe in fruit with pizza and fruit with cheese. I believe in cheese with bread, and I believe in fruit with cheese. So,
No, that's fair.
This is the 10 Commandments.
That's
These
fair.
these are Sarah's
that's
10.
fair.
melted cheese over apples. Put it on
Raclette.
the best
Yeah.
pizza, taco pizza.
All right.
Muting.
Know that Jackie Tone is here with us, and Jackie is in the state of Florida, an important swing state in this election. And I wanted to know if Jackie might be able to just perhaps improvise a song for us about elections or voting, whatever you can come up with. Of course, Jackie, one of the stars of the great show Glow on Netflix. Jackie, how are you, my friend?
Guys, I'm medium at best. Is anybody better than that?
Oh.
If you're better than that, something is wrong. I just want to second how deeply unfair I think it is that you showed that shit clip of Sarah, the funniest, hottest woman to ever live.
That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, I'm going to tell the producers right now, can we get a better clip of Sarah Silverman, please, to redeem ourselves?
Sabotage.
Honestly, Sarah, it's full sabotage. I was like get on the edge of my seat, like, what's Sarah gonna say? And then I was like, that fucking was upsetting.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know how it
And I
felt.
don't have anything more important to discuss. Like, I don't even know what tomorrow is anymore because I'm that upset about that clip.
Oh, can we maybe... What?
Oh, I was gonna say, that said, I could sing you a song.
Yeah, I would love if you could just improvise a song about elections, anything related to that, just to change the topic from the terrible clip if possible.
Oh, man. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I want to check in and make sure that you remember Election Day's a day away, the 3rd of November. On the fence about voting? Okay, here's a hot take. This one's a kind of big one. Our democracy's at stake. When you do your civic duty, yo, nothing feels sicker. If you're not going to do it for yourself, then do it for the sticker. I cast my vote, I cast my vote, I cast it. Hot damn, now I can gloat on Instagram. Give me a hell yeah and some verbal affection. You're gonna play your part in this election. All ballots in the box, let's make some noise. We deserve to be heard, our vote is our voice. Hey, I know you have your reasons why you haven't partook, but I've heard every single damn excuse in the book. You say, I'm busy. Oh, you're busy. Oh, that brings me to tears. You can't find 10 minutes once every 2 years. You say, I'm undecided. Yeah, that can't be true. Just vote for a decent dude that values what you value. You say, what's the difference? Nothing's gonna change. But as you know, if you don't vote, you can't complain. And complaining is my very, very number one favorite part. You say, what does it matter? You give me a hell yeah. Some of her affection. Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Take your part in this election. All ballots in the box, let's make some noise. We deserve to be heard. Our vote is our voice. Now, I vote because I'm important and my opinion matters. I vote because I want to see the glass ceiling shattered. I vote because I want there to be clean air for my children. I don't have kids, but I would like clean air for your children. So get on the ball like volley or tether. I'll give you one word. Come on, let's say it together now. Vote. Hey, that's the one I was referring to. Vote. Hey, you have a choice. Vote. All right, I'm going to say it so many times. Vote, 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 vote. Here we go. Bring it home. Give me a hell yeah. And some affection.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Election. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Let's make some noise. We deserve to be heard. Our vote is our voice. Our vote is our voice. Our vote is our vote.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
Advisor.
Fully improvised was not reading a text edit .rtf off my screen. Fully improvised.
Freestyle!
Hey, baby, freestyle!
That was very good improv. Very, very good improv.
Don't let your silence ring louder than your vote.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Why didn't you text me that beforehand? I would have put it.
I got you, girl. I got you.
Rosario, I think your friend Diane Guerrero is here with us. I don't know if she's available to join us right now and say hello.
That would be awesome. We just did an amazing PSA together.
Hi, Diane.
Hi.
Thank you for being here with us. How's your night been so far?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I think we're gonna win. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
By we, you mean America. You mean America's going to win no matter what happens? Democracy prevails.
No, I mean we're gonna win.
Humankind, the human race will always end up on top.
She's like, did I stutter?
I am a host with certain responsibilities, and I think you know what I'm saying here. Okay, great. Have you talked to any voters so far tonight?
No, I haven't.
Oh, we got to get you in some calls as soon as this is done.
Yeah, get me in there.
I love that. Some video chats rather. So tell us, why is voting important to you? What does this election mean to you? And please be as nonpartisan as possible.
What does this election mean to me? This election means life. Really, it means
I hope that kooky write-in that one guy thought was hilarious wins.
Are you talking about Kanye West, Doug? That's Doug Stanhope joining us.
Oh wait, you can hear me?
Hey,
Yes, sir.
You can hear me. I took an edible 2 hours ago when I thought I was going to be talking to people, and now I think.
Honestly, Doug,
I don't even have a Alexa, and I think it's fucking listening to me.
Doug, you've been caught on a hot mic. That is the best, cleanest, most normal thing we could have overheard. We got very lucky there.
No, I've been silent the whole time. So do I turn this off?
No, talk to us. Talk to us.
Okay.
Stanhope, meet Diane Guerrero, Jackie Tone, Rosario Dawson.
I don't know. Hey, thanks for having me. I was terrified that you would go to me because I thought I was just going to be talking to voters in private rooms. Hey, there's Dom Herrera. Oh my God, Dom!
Let's bring Dom in.
On Paul stroke.
I love it. I love it.
So the only thing I want to tell you this: every one of you has a stupid friend, at least one, that will do whatever you tell him to do. So just tell all your dumb friends. The dumbest of you listening has dumber people that will listen to what you say. So just tell them to vote one way. Lie to them. There's nothing wrong with misinformation when you're just making your dumb friends vote to impress you, especially hot chicks. And Ben Glebe, I wanted to talk to you. Just told the guy in a voter room, when Alyssa Milano is talking about all the trolls that fuck with her and say the most horrible thing, at the same time, I was stopping myself from tweeting how hot Melissa Alano is, because I thought I'd get more in trouble for talking about her appearance than all the fucking trolls that call her a libtard or whatever. Find stupid people, make them vote.
I love that. That was a very interesting turn for the end of your message. And I'm sure Melissa Alano probably appreciates
Melissa Alano the next time
and how beautiful she is.
And her horrible things on Twitter. Maybe take the "I'm hot" thing as a compliment.
Being hot. I don't know being hot.
I'm woke enough to say to not say you're hot for your age. I'm that woke.
Wow.
Really good. Really impressive, Doug. Very nice.
Diane, what do you think of this winning strategy of reaching out to folks
Who don't get it?
who don't get it? Yeah, that's a nicer way to say it.
I don't know. I think it's hard. I think it's like bad for my mental health. So, but if you have the stamina and you can do it, if you have the brain power, then yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things I've loved and this whole thing is like the folks who are like, no, you can use Google, step away from me. And the other folks who are like, I'll answer, I'll be the black friend online for you to answer this particular question or woman's question or whatever it is.
I'd like to bring in
our own special way. Oh, sorry. I was just saying that we all can participate in our own special way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really cool in the chat, Diane.
Thank you. No, that is
Diane,
true.
I want to say, you've been I love the video you just did recently on Measure J. I obviously really appreciate the PSA that we did together. It was like a sexy voting PSA about safe voting, safe consensual voting. And I just want to say you've really leaned in, particularly and using your voice, maybe not targeting low information voters as instructed, but just really reaching out and just using your platform to really educate people and give people access and to break through all the noise and misinformation. I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Diane.
Access and opportunity so we can live full lives. Access and opportunity.
100%. And Diane, thank you for saying that. It is so true. It's all about how each person can contribute. Not everybody has the same abilities or platform or point of view, but if everybody can just contribute in some way, just to the betterment of the country, to the betterment of the world, that's how we move forward. And I have a friend here. Doug. Was that Doug?
That's not me.
Oh, okay. I have a friend here who is a hilarious person who is pretty amazing at people who don't get it, putting them in their place, and that's Steve Hofstetter. You're known for destroying anybody that's ignorant and not woke. So what's your advice to dealing with people who don't get it?
On a bipartisan Zoom, nothing.
Fair enough.
Well, no, right now I'm actually still an undecided voter because I desperately need attention. I think the honest advice is calmly speak to them, and if you think that they're beyond getting it, then block them. But the idea of angrily arguing with someone is never going to change their mind.
Yep, that's not at all what I do late night on Twitter. So thank you for years of my life. That is very painful to hear.
Me neither, Ben. Me neither.
We've also got Baron Vaughn. Baron, how do you deal with idiots that don't know what's up? How do you deal with it?
I am way too busy trying to figure out what Doug is saying. No, how do I deal? Well, I mean, I just stopped going home is to my mother's husband. If you can tell, he's been in my life since I was a single digit age. Still refer to him as my mother's husband. Call him by a first name. No, you can only talk to people to a certain extent. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to have empathy and you have to have understanding. But the fact of the matter is that people gonna do what they gonna do, and if you can't bring them to the quote unquote light, then perhaps you gotta go back into the dark. That's what I do in the bed, and I put my head under the covers.
Okay, so then let me get some advice from one of the legendary comedians who is more empathetic than anybody I've ever known, Mr. Dom Irera. Dom, how do you deal with idiots, people that don't see it the way that you really see it? Where'd you go? You disappeared on me? There you are.
This woman right here. What a great voice you have.
Whoa, thanks, Dom. That means a lot to me. I've loved you since I was a kid. Hey, dude.
You don't have to hurt me now. Love you since my grandfather used to take me to see you. What happened? I was singing at Kanye West.
Dom, I have a serious question for you, Dom.
Yeah, serious.
This is 2020, It's the 100th anniversary of women gaining the right to vote in 1920. So especially this year, we hope we get historic turnout among women in this nation to just prove how y'all are taking things over. The future is female. I see it on T-shirts everywhere. What was it like being there on that historic day in 1920, Dom?
Well, it's funny you should say that because I was in a hate group then, and I got look at all this love here. Oh, you guys, you have so much energy. I anything for people except dinner. That's it. You like that energy to give. I don't have. Sarah, you have it. You actually think about people. I don't give a shit. But tonight I care. Tonight, seriously, after seeing you people who came out, Adam, in one of his disguises, I still recognize him. And Doug, always a sweet thing, always a good-hearted Doug. And I
Adam Ray right there. Hey, Adam.
Adam Ray.
Adam, you're in Australia right now shooting a movie. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, it's normal life down here. You can not wear a mask and see someone on the street, and you can see their face as they go across the street. To you. Amazing.
You're shooting a movie on the life of The Rock. Is that correct?
Yeah,
a TV series on the life of The Rock.
Yeah, because that's I think when push came to shove, everybody was like, how can we? What's the best way to distract us all? And let's find out.
Adam.
How grew up. Yeah.
Adam, tell them about your aunt. Adam, tell them about your aunt.
About
your aunt.
Don loves. I have a 96-year-old aunt named Shirley.
He's just looking down. He's just heavy lids.
Doug, so we're still here.
Shit, I'm on it.
Yep, still on it.
I was taking back everything I.
Now we spotlight you. Now you're muted. All right, we got to end this. It's really nice talking to you guys. We have to move on to another thing. Our host, Rosario Dawson, the lovely Rosario Dawson, has got to talk to you about how you can get a ride to the polls if maybe you can't afford one. Rosario, please take it away.
Yes, thank you. Though I was really wondering where that was going. I co-founded a voting organization called Voto Latino in 2004. This year, we crested over 1 million people that we have registered. We helped to co-found National Voter Registration Day. And, in this election alone, we've registered over 260,000 people in Texas. So we're always about it. We're a year-round organization, and we have grown to have some really amazing partnerships over the years. And one of them is with Lyft. So for folks who are needing a ride to the polls, please do not take a distance being a factor. In places like Texas, there have been a lot of closures of polling places because of COVID. There are a lot of folks who tend to be on the older side of the spectrum, who have refrained from being poll watchers and poll workers. We've got a lot of youth who've come in, but we still have over 20,000 polling places that are just not in existence. And so for a lot of people have to go a really far distance. So you can use discount code 2020VOTE for 50% off of a Lyft ride. So 2020, the number's 2020VOTE, and you can get a 50% discount on your Lyft ride. So you don't have to break your bank to go out there and vote. Please don't let distance be an issue or that stops you from going to vote. Please pass that on to folks. There are a lot of folks that are differently abled, people who are older, and hopefully people are going together in some kind of community and have a voting pod. But if not, please know that you have this opportunity to use 2020VOTE Lyft discount code for 50% off on your ride. What's up, Doug? You got something to say about that?
Oh, wait, I'm still on? Are you fucking kidding me? I thought you ditched us.
Watch the F-bombs. This is on television. Holy Lord, Doug.
I was just putting in the chat that I sell merch after this whole telethon. If you want a Doug Scano pint glass or something.
Doug,
we're not making any money on this telethon. Neither are you. Okay.
Correct.
But
also, Doug, looking at the way you look right now,
physically outside of this chat at a table, a folding banquet table, and I'm selling the photos. I do 8x10 photos of my younger years. I have VHS tape. I'll be right outside. Just shoot me. I'm way too high
Doug,
here.
Doug, can I be honest with you?
Dom,
Doug,
What?
The way that you look and sound right now, it doesn't feel like you sell merch. It feels like you sell meth. Can I be honest with you?
No, I'm high and drunk. I had to do Roseanne's podcast for an hour and a half. Now look at this. I'm hammered.
Perfect. I love that. I'd like to remind people that if you are hammered, you can also take Lyft to get home. It's a safe way to do it.
Hang on. Alyssa Milano is calling me on my cell phone.
It's her or it's her lawyers. One of the two. We don't know. It is vote.
My point was, and I put it in the chat, and I got a little bit off topic with the Alyssa Milano. Hot chicks, you can make 1,000 guys vote just by acting like you're interested in them tomorrow, telling them who to vote for, and don't call them back on Wednesday.
Smart.
That's what I was trying to say. I got
strategy.
A little confused with the Alyssa Milano being hot.
Very
I'm
smart.
not sure that's a winning strategy, but maybe we should go to last year's or 2 years ago's previous co-host.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Little Miss Olivia Munn, who's
Yes.
got a little message for us to share. Let's
How do
go.
I mute myself so I don't fuck this up again?
Hey everyone, welcome to Telethon for America. I am your host, Olivia Munn. Joining me tonight.
I feel like Olivia would have had a better comeback. We're just gonna cut to
What
her.
do you mean
Let's
I've
see
been
if she does.
replaced by Rosario Dawson? I mean, yeah, she's a total badass, but what I don't understand is why I'm not just hosting with her. Who? Oh, because it's his show? Okay, so wait, what do you want me to say? Just let everyone know that election day is tomorrow and that the future of our country depends on them voting? Yeah, I got it. Hey guys, so election day is tomorrow and the future of our country really depends on you voting. And you can pledge to do so at telethonforamerica.com. All right, gonna be a big, fun, exciting night. I'm gonna send it back to, what's his name?
That is hurtful. Honestly, it's a little hurtful, okay? Because I thought we were very close. And whatever, it's fine. My dear friend Brad Williams is here, or maybe he barely remembers my name as well. How you doing, Brad? You're muted, Brad. You're muted. You are muted. Something we wish we could do with Doug Stanhope, and we can't. We can only mute Brad Williams when we want him to talk. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, how you doing, Richard? Doing good.
Love it. Are you voting tomorrow, or have you already voted?
I have already voted, and it was a wonderful experience, and I'm very glad that this is happening, so we can actually teach people and educate people, because education is what's so important right now, whether it be about voting, whether it be about COVID. Just today, I was in a grocery store, and here's how much people don't know about COVID. A kid saw me, and yelled out in a crowded grocery store, "Look what it did to him!" Yeah, so this kid thought I was walking around pre-COVID like 6'4", just like loving life. And then someone sneezed on me, and it was like Super Mario hitting a Goomba. Just do. It was bad.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for being here, Brad. Have you been going into breakout rooms and talking to voters?
Yeah, I love talking to people. I love seeing people's homes. It's very creepy. I thoroughly enjoy it. Some people have way nicer homes than me, and now I'm incredibly jealous.
It happens, my friend. It happens. Well, thank you for being here. We're going to get you in some more voting rooms, some more voter rooms with all of you as well. But I'd like to now kick to a
Fortune Feimster, and I recently got married to my partner of 5 years during a pandemic in a tiny ceremony while our parents watched on Zoom. Now, I had always planned on marrying my amazing partner Jax, but we never anticipated doing it so quickly. However, after the death of Bader Ginsburg and the probability of a 6-3 conservative Supreme Court, which is now a reality, we felt like we had no choice, and we wanted to get married while we legally were within our right to do so. Now, hopefully, marriage equality is here to stay, but it is certainly being. In fact, the rights of the LGBT community are being threatened in general just by the direction that this country's been. and we refuse to let hate win, because love will always prevail, my friends. It will. Love will prevail. Ice cream will prevail, unless you are lactose intolerant. And in that case, I'm so very sorry for you. But listen, I'm a comedian. That's what I do. And nothing more than to be here tonight and make all of you laugh, tell some funny jokes. But it's the biggest election of our lives. And I'm here to tell you that you all have to take this seriously, because equality is on the ballot this year. So many things are. It's 2020, and it's time that we let love win. So don't screw this up. America, get out there and vote. Then get you some ice cream and dance, because you earned it. Woo! Shoulder shimmy, flip your hair, whatever you want. Just go vote. Woo!
Hey folks, Ray Romano here. I'm in my house. It's Sunday. It's the middle of football. My identical their team's lost already. They're a little upset, but I don't care. I'm going to crash because I need to find out something important. Look at these guys. Look at these guys sitting in my office all day. Matt, I got a question for you. What are you going to do Tuesday?
I'm going to vote on Tuesday.
Greg?
Going to vote.
There you go. That's why I let them get away with this stuff, because they're doing the right thing. And we all should. Go to America. Go to
The trust in our government is now at record lows. The United States is currently near the bottom of the list, number 26 out of 32 leading democracies in the world for voter turnout. And with an anti-democracy decade that started with the Supreme Court's 2010 Citizens United decision and continued with its 2013 Shelby decision, my generation is the first to witness America become less democratic, forced to contend with the outsized influence of corporations and big money in politics, and the most voter suppression since the Jim Crow era. This is why Represent Us exists. We've been quietly building a fiercely nonpartisan grassroots movement of people, conservatives, progressives, and everyone in between, who are putting aside their differences and changing laws that seem wonky, but have a profound impact. Anti-gerrymandering, removing barriers to voting, campaign finance reform, and ranked choice voting, among others. Why? Because if it isn't already obvious, corruption thrives in a broken system. Extremism thrives in a broken system. Racism thrives in a broken system. Authoritarianism thrives in a broken system. But here's the good news. Our movement is catching fire. In 2018, we won more pro-democracy and anti-corruption reforms at the state and local level, in red and blue states alike, than at any point in U.S. history. And there are even more of these reforms on the ballot tomorrow, be it ranked choice voting in Massachusetts and Alaska, anti-gerrymandering in Virginia and Missouri, or campaign finance reform in Oregon and Alaska. So join us in this chiefly intersectional movement of movements to unrig the system before it's too late. Thank you, and may the better angels of our nature prevail once again.
How incredible is Ronaldo Pearson, everybody? Amazing. A round of applause for Ronaldo Pearson, if we can. Nobody? Just one? Okay, fair enough.
The host
They were muted. They were Ronaldo Pearson. Executive director of Represent Us. Stole my look is my only complaint there, to be honest with you. We are going to bring now live on stage here at Nowhere Comedy. They have a show right here, actually. You can get tickets at nowherecomedyclub.com. This Saturday, their podcast, Dumb People Town, with their special guest, John Hamm. You also know them from the show Glow, from Better Call Saul. Please give a warm welcome to the Sklar Brothers.
Keep it going for Ben Glebe.
Yeah.
Ben Glebe.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, y'all.
Guys, I just read this today.